Hello everyone. This is our assignment number 8, Principles of Effective Communication. Effective communication means easy understanding message by the receiver. If the receiver understand message easily without any difficulties, then it is called effective communication. Easy understanding. This is the soul of effective communication. You can define effective communications for the business. Effective communication is a lifeblood of any organization that promote the spirit of understanding and create cooperation and coordination among all the concerned branches of business. That is called effective communications. What I am saying, easy understanding, it is called effective communication. But on the ground of business, you can say that effective communication, it is a lifeblood of any business that promote the spirit of understanding and create cooperation and coordination among all the concerned branches of business. That is called effective communication. Means it is lifeblood, it is very essential. It promotes the spirit of understanding and it creates cooperation and coordination among all the concerned branches of business. That is called effective communications. So let us discuss the importance of effective communication and its principle. Practical significance. Principles are very important. Let us discuss which principles to create communication effective. Effective communication is a fundamental tools for a successful professions and professional. It is vital life skills which benefit in all aspects from a professional life to a social gathering with clients and colleagues. It is one of the most essential skills a professional must have. Effective communication is the oil that keeps the workplace machine running smoothly. This learning experience has been designed to enhance the skills to communicate effectively and skillfully at workplace. देखो, effective communication is a fundamental tool for each and every profession and professionals. It play very vital life skills for the all aspects like professional and non-professional also, with clients and colleagues also. It is very essential skills for professional and we have to adopt it. Writer says that effective communication is the oil that keeps the workplace machines running smoothly. So it is very important to adopt the effective communications. Let us discuss relevant relevance to program outcomes. Basic knowledge. Apply knowledge of basic mathematics, science, and basic engineering to solve the problem related to application of computers and communications, serving in storming, manipulating, and transmitting data, often in the context of a business or other enterprises. Apply knowledge of basic mathematics, science, and basic engineering to solve the problem related to the application of computers and communication service in storming, manipulating, and transmitting data, often in the context of a business or other enterprises. Individual and teamwork functional function effectively as a leader and team members in diverse and multidisciplinary teams. Communication. Communicate effectively in oral and written form. Next, relevant course outcomes are communicate effectively by avoiding barriers in various formal and informal communications. Communicate skillfully using non-verbal methods of communication. Use presentation by using audio video aids. Write reports using correct guidelines and compose email and formal business letters. Okay, effectively by avoiding barriers in different formal and informal situations. Communicate effectively using non-verbal methods of communication. Give presentation by using audio, visual aids. Write reports using correct guidelines and compose emails and formal communications letters. Next, practical learning outcomes are communicate effectively in formal and informal situations. Practical skills are use computer systems including open learning sources, develop listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills, relevant effective domains related course outcomes, follow safety practices, demonstrative working as a leader, an individual or team members, follow ethical practices. Next, minimum theoretical backgrounds are the knowledge of vocabulary, sentence constructions, and basic writing skill is required. The concept of effective communication should be known. Next, experimental setups, work situations, language lab with relevant software and open learning sources. Procedures, you know the procedures that log into your account, maybe student consoles. Read, understand the instruction from practical manuals, assignment documents, and discuss the understanding with your facilitators. Read the instructions carefully. Watch about online videos related to effective communications. Refer reference books or online sources in context with principle of effective communication. Make notes based on the refer content. Finalize the content consultations in consultations with facilitators and submit the final assignments. Procedures are follow the safety guidelines using language laboratories, handle headphone carefully, do not insert pen drive or memory card in laboratory computers. Let us discuss. There are 12 principles which is used for effective communications. Principle of effective communications. First, clarity in encoding message. Sender, receiver, message, and feedback. These are the four. Then encoding, decoding, channels. These are the seven elements in if communication cycle. Here is encoding is very important part which is conveyed, which is performed by the sender. Encoding means planning, preparations, how to transmit the message in front of receivers. That is called encoding. Clarity in encoding the message. The sender uses clarity in encoding message. Encoding of the message should be clear. For this, the sender should be aware of the purpose of communication. Clarity means it should not arise any confusion or question in the mind of the receiver. There should not be any ambiguity. Message should be clear and correct. There is no misunderstanding in the mind of sender and in the mind of receivers. Okay, the sender take precautions. He used simple examples, lucid language, easy language that can easily understood by the receiver, and it doesn't create any type of ambiguity in the mind of receiver. That is called clarity in encoding the message. Clarity in stating the purpose. Purpose is very important. The sender should state the purpose of the communication. The message should be state the purpose clearly. The message should state the purpose clearly. It should be direct in its intention. The sender should have no doubts about the purpose of communication. Only then he will be able to express his thoughts in a concise or brief manner without giving unnecessary details. There is no doubt in the mind of senders regarding the purpose of communications. We should be clear that I want to do this, and for that I am delivering this. Okay, this is a clarity in stating the purpose. Third, correctness of the messages. It is very important. Message should be clear and correct. If it is incorrect, it creates misunderstanding in the mind of receiver. It arises the barriers in the mind of receiver. So it is duty of sender to transform a sent clear message, correct message. The message should be correct. It should not have any incorrect information or misunderstanding details, misguiding details. Then only the communication will be effective. Incorrect message are seldom effective, rarely effective. Next, conciseness of the message. Message should be brief. It should be concise. The key to effective communication is its conciseness and its brevity. Conciseness. Conciseness means brief. The sentence should always be short in length. This ensure understanding. Lengthy message leads to confusion. It should be brief. It should be not more than 5 minutes. It should be short because short and clear message is easily understood by the receiver. Conciseness, yeah, brevity. Next, completeness of the message. The message should be complete. That is, it should answer all the possible questions of the receiver. Insufficient knowledge confuses the receiver as it leaves him in doubt and distrust. Insufficient knowledge should be sufficient. It arise, it fulfill all questions and its answer. Next, coherences of the message. The message should have a logical substance. The message should have a logical subsequences and flow. Okay, coherence means link, attachment, logical pattern, that is called continuity. Coherence is very important. It should progress in such a way that the receiver gets a clear picture and is able to respond accordingly. Seventh, courteous language. Language should be polite, simple, courteous. Language in all types of communication should always be courteous. The goodwill generated by courtesy helps in building long-term relationship. Next, selection of proper channel is very important. Wrong channel leads understanding. Selection of channels depend on the urgency of the message, the capacity of the receiver, and availability of the resource to send the message. Proper channel ensure proper transactions also. Ninth, knowledge about the receiver. It is very important. It is essential that the sender is aware of who the receiver is. Okay, it is essential that the sender is aware of who the receiver is. We should respect the receiver. We should know the age, gender, socio-economical status, language background of the receiver. This knowledge helps him in selecting the right words and proper channels. Sender should know receiver's age, experience, interest, knowledge, efficiency, intelligence, grasping power, and retention power also. Next, that is taking care of probable barriers. We should assume that such type of barrier may be occur during our communication, so it is our duty to remove the barriers. We should take proper care of probable barriers. Sender and receiver both are responsible to make communication smooth. They should anticipate probable barriers and plan accordingly. The barrier of communication need to be removed to convey message effectively. Last, giving feedback is very important. If the receiver did not give feedback to the sender, then it is called incomplete communication. It is not called effective communication. So it is very important. Sender should ensure that the message receive an expected feedback. Sender should ensure that the message receive an expected feedback. Without feedback, effectiveness of the communication of the message cannot be judged. Feedback needs to be positive and prompt. Therefore, the sender should take care that he defines the timeline according. Okay, feedback needs to be positive and prompt. Therefore, the sender should take care that he defines the timeline accordingly. This is the these are the 12 principle of effective communication. I hope you are following these principles to make your communication effective. Thank you.